TV. Our show today is brought to you by U.S. Staffing Agency, your complete employment specialist serving job seekers, employees, and employers. Their mission is to help develop communities by building relationships and connecting people. USStaffingAgency.com. Thank you for helping us bring you today's show. Next on our show is Zoe Lyons, the Jackson Director of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. How are you?
Great. How are you? It'll come out. It'll get there.
So many letters and things that I have to say. Sometimes I mess it up.
Yeah.
But Zoe Lyons is here. How are you?
Good.
So we just had John Denny on, and we talk about schools a lot.
Yeah.
You guys are involved in the schools, probably more so than people think. What is your involvement?
Yeah, we have a program called Pathways to Potential.
Okay.
We shorten it to P2P because more initials are great, right? And they're workers in my office. They're case workers. So if they were in my office, they would have a food assistance and Medicaid type caseload. But we worked with the schools. The schools got to interview and choose which worker fit for them.
Oh, that's cool.
And they actually are in the schools. So instead of sitting in my office, they're sitting at the schools. And one of the main focuses really started on helping schools with attendance.
Oh, right.
Because attendance, what are the barriers to kids getting to school on time? And my workers would do things like purchase alarm clocks for families, or talk to them about transportation if there was something that was needed in terms of transportation. And then the other thing is, since they're seated at the school, when the parents come in to see teachers, they can also see their caseworker and get anything taken care of on their case that they need. So it keeps them from having to come to our downtown office. And the other thing that schools are always wanting is parent engagement.
Yeah.
So how do we get parents to, want to be at our schools or kind of need to be? So, yeah.
Very, very cool program.
1,100,000 kids stopped going to school and haven't come back in the United States.
Oh my
That's a lot of kids.
That is a lot of kids.
You think, think of people or kids that miss just a week even, how hard it is. We really have a gap to fill with some of these kids.
Yeah, we do. And early in the school year is really critical. I mean, I think all the superintendents would say, we know in the first 30 days if there's going to be somebody who struggles with attendance, because you can tell if they're missing, some of that in the first 30 days of school. I think the research shows that it continues throughout the year.
Yeah.
So early in the school year is really important. We have our folks at the schools, doing all that stuff with the teachers before school even starts as well.
What schools are you in?
So we are in East Jackson. We have 2 in Northwest, so we're in the early L and the upper L. We have, I think, 3 at JPS, so we have 1 at Hunt, and they're all year round. We have 1 at the new Cascades, and then at Parkside. So if they're all still in the places they were, it's hard to keep up sometimes. But yeah, so they're there to work with the schools, and it's almost like a prevention type position to help families get what they need.
Very cool.
We're still in the pandemic emergency, and MDHHS considers this still a state of emergency.
Right.
So there's some things that you're doing differently, and there's some things that have been put on hold.
Yes,
right?
yes. So 2 of our biggest programs, our food assistance program and our Medicaid program, were largely affected by COVID, and in a positive way, I would say. So our food assistance program, we gave everyone additional benefits during the public health emergency, and we've continued to do that sort of month by month. And so we don't find out, I don't think we've even heard about May yet. So April wasn't one of those months, but we're looking for the public health emergency to end in July. So then some of those benefits will end, that extra food might end. And the other thing that we did with Medicaid is we did not close any cases. So a public health emergency, everyone who possibly needs insurance should have it.
Okay.
So everyone who is on Medicaid, nobody's case closed, no matter what. So every year, typically we do a review.
Okay.
And sometimes a case would close. None of those cases closed.
Wow.
So when the public health emergency ends, we're going to have a year of reviewing triple the cases that we would have reviewed before.
What will those folks on Medicaid potentially need to be aware of?
Well, the first thing we want them to know is we want them to make sure their address is correct in our system. So they can they can sign right in from their phone or a computer. They can come into our office, and we have computers in our lobbies. Make sure that their address is correct, because they're going to get paperwork. And if they don't get that paperwork because they have moved and they don't get it at the right address and it doesn't get turned in, their case will close. And so we want them to make sure they get everything that they need, get those papers turned in, and then hopefully their case will stay open. So
There's still a lot of benefits available because of COVID that I think a lot of people don't know about, and not necessarily from MDHHS, but federal government, FEMA. FEMA is paying for funerals for people who passed away from COVID, and a lot of people don't even know that. So if you find out, you might be eligible for something you don't know about, but this would be a good place to find out.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of our municipalities have received COVID funds, ARP funds, and they have plans in place for how to use them, and there's likely some of those plans will fall through. So you just never know where you can get assistance, and ask around.
Great. Appreciate all that you and your team are doing above and beyond, and thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zoe Lyons is the director of the Jackson office of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Next, we'll be talking about golf on the morning show. Stay tuned.